Welcome to today's episode of the Disruptive Franchise Podcast. Today we have a very special guest because we have our sponsor, Jem from Bookwhen. Hey, Jem.
Stacey, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. I'm really excited to have you here.
Yeah, it's
Because
great to be here.
we're gonna have a really good chat, and we always
Yeah,
have a good chat anyway, but
we
this time
do.
everyone else to listen into, so it's really cool.
Perfect.
Thank you so much for being here and
Mhm.
also sponsoring this year's Disruptive
Yeah,
Franchise.
yeah, very excited. Very excited to do it this year.
Cool. Tell us a little bit about Bookwen first of all, and then we'll get into the awards.
Cool. So Bookwen is an online booking platform that really you can manage events, classes, workshops. We're a one-to-many model, so we work across a lot of verticals. So children's activity providers through to fitness instructors. We've even got training and learning and some like government departments use us and like the NHS. So we're a really mixed bag with like the type of customers we have. But really our goal is really simple, and that's just to take the stress out of scheduling your events so that our customers can like focus doing what they love, whether it is like a fitness class or like drop-in bookings on a children's activity session. We get a lot of dog trainers as well that use Bookwen, which is always really interesting. So but really, yeah, really varied from like solo entrepreneurs all the way to like multinational franchises. So a very mixed bag, but that's a little bit about Bookwen.
I took the kids glamping recently and had to order food for the site, and they use Bookwen.
Do they?
Yeah.
I love seeing Bookwhen in the wild. So I live in Brighton, and when I'm kind of going around, like as some of the community posters and stuff like that we've got dotted around, like in pubs, in restaurants, and things like that. When I see like an event, and then I look at the bottom, and it's like bookwen.com/, I'm like, they use Bookwen. That's great.
I bet as well, actually. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
um,
but I know them.
yeah, it's really funny. And actually, all my friends are like, oh, we've got to order the food. Oh, it's probably a long booking system. I'm like, no, it's Bookwen, it's fine.
Fine, easy breezy.
Yeah, ordered my burgers and my
I love that. I'm gonna have to look for it now.
yeah, it was fallow fields.
Oh, fabulous. I shall have a look.
Plug for fallow fields in there. It was a really good glamping experience.
Oh, lovely.
I'm sure others are available, but yeah, no,
Yeah,
we booked our food through that. It was wonderful, actually, really, because it's so easy.
classic.
And then you get the confirmation, and then you know
Yeah,
that you
that's
get
it.
the
It's done.
confirmation number. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
done. Loved it. So yeah, you are used across multiple
Yes.
industries.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. How did Bookwen like come about? Like,
Come about. Oh, so Joe, who is our founder, owner, he's still very much involved in like the day-to-day for Bookwen. Bookwen used to start as a company called Tidy Apps. That's where it started. And it was Joe wanting to kind of get out of fintech where he was working, and he wanted to make something that was useful for people. So at the time, 10 years ago, or like I think, well, 14 if you include like when it was Tidy Apps, but it was Joe, one-man band, started it up, and it just grew naturally from there. So one of the really lovely things that I find absolutely lovely about Bookwen is that we don't have like a board of investors behind us or anything like that. It's all natural growth. So everything that we do goes straight back into the company. Like we're not getting forced to go in a different path that our customers might not need for like commercial reasons. So it's really lovely. And Joe is still very much in the day-to-day. He's like our product manager on the team, but he was a developer, so that he built Bookwen, and then it's just grown naturally from there.
amazing. Do you think there's an advantage to being a company that actually was started by a developer?
I think so. Some of the really good like innovative tech kind of started that way. Like Stripe is started off that way. So if anyone used Stripe as their payment gateway, so a lot of these like developer led. It means that often they kind of can do it quite quickly at speed. Obviously, you've got the introduction of like AI now to help with coding and things like that. But to actually have an app started by a dev is really useful. And then that's where you then grab in all the other teams. So like UX, our customer support, just to kind of bring that more human touch in as well, because they're the empathy led side, like our UX and support team. So where the dev side is really great at tech and building it and making it work. you've got the other hand who bring in and feed through like the empathy and like, why are people using this? Like, what can we do to make it better?
Yeah, definitely. And actually, you guys are very good at. So I've used Bookwhen myself for. I was trying to figure out how many years. It must be
Oh,
maybe
eight,
I might even be
6.
9.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
I love. So that's it. Some of our user base still, we have people that were with us from day one. So it's really lovely. Like when I'm in the account and I can be like, oh, when did they start with us? Oh, they've been with us for 10 years and they're still here. That's just really great. We love to see that growth as well from people that start off as like a one-man band and then they kind of grow into franchising. So we've got like a few success stories on that, which is really great. So we'll be sharing some of those hopefully soon on our website to update them. But I love it.
I was really early on because I
Mm,
started my journey as a franchisee at Daisy First
mm,
Aid, and I very quickly got annoyed. I was a very early franchisee.
mm,
So I very quickly got annoyed with having to send out an invoice via email and
mhm.
keep checking the bank account to see if they've paid, and then email
Yeah,
back and be like, can you pay this? Because if you don't pay this, I can't come to your house and teach you first aid. But yeah, we'll pay it, we'll pay it, pay it.
they
I
don't.
spent so many hours, and very, very quickly I was like, this is not the way to go.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I went to the franchisor, Jenny, and I was like, can I just put like there's got to be a booking system in. And I asked around and there were various kind of booking systems that came up and I had a little fiddle with them, but I really just liked the Bookwen interface because it was just easy, it was really simple.
Yeah.
And this is before we could integrate it into the website, but
Hmm.
so that's why I was quite an early adopter, because actually it just worked for me at the time when
Hmm.
I just really needed it. And not long after that, would have been, was definitely within the first couple of years of the business.
Hmm. Hmm.
Not long after I then fell pregnant with twins, it's like everything in my business needs to be automated before I
Hmm.
have the
Yeah.
twins. I just can't do anything otherwise.
Well, this is
So
it.
kind of went from fiddling around with it a little bit to this is going to have to drive the business bookings because I can't do it myself. So
Yeah.
that's how I know how, like, it was. I was, yeah.
Definitely. Definitely. It's all about saving time. I hate if anyone does have to do added extra admin time on top of it. Like it should just be all automated as quickly as possible. You don't want to be chasing payments. You want to be actually spending time prepping for the class, running it, getting feedback, making it better.
Yeah, and from a franchise point of view, like having our
Mm.
franchisees focus on delivery
Hmm.
rather than, you know, the
Like the
fiddly
operations, yeah.
options. And one of the kind of, so a lot of franchises are like children's activity providers or food, and it's very fixed.
Yeah.
For Daisy, actually, we have fixed venues, so we use
Hmm.
that scheduler there, but also we run private classes. So I used to put all of my private availability on as well. And you basically just create slots for yourself,
Yeah.
and it just meant that I wasn't backwards and forwards and losing conversion because people were like,
Yeah.
oh, can you Tuesday? No. Can you do Wednesday at 7? No, but I can
It's
do
all there.
just all there. And it
It's
was
all there.
just massively helped conversion to be able to say to them,
Hmm.
this is when I'm available. But it also put me in control as the business owner to be like, this is when I'm available.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't go to B&Q at like midnight and be like, I wonder. That's kind of how people viewed it.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
I was in business because
Yeah.
people were like, well, I want you to do Sunday at 3:45, right? That doesn't
No.
come close. But the
Having a
mentality,
roast.
yeah, having a roast, like, do one. But the mentality, I think, when you're a small business is that you have to try and please everybody. And so
Yeah.
be in control of this is when I want to work. And I can't bend on that because I've bothered to put it into Bookwhen now. Like, it just was better.
Yeah. Well, that's it, especially when you're so emotionally invested. Like a lot of people that do use Bookwen to start off with are either doing it as like a side hustle. They want to turn it into it's like their passion project. They want to turn it into a business. So they're so emotionally invested that they do want to be everything to everyone, and that's just not realistic, and that's not sustainable. So yeah, definitely don't want to do that. So put your availability in. You dictate your schedule. You say this is when I'm free, and then you can build it around that.
Yeah, it's so important. So
Mm.
over that time, obviously, I've seen lots of change at Bookwhen, but like what's been
Yes.
the lots of change, but
Lots
like
of
it's all been
change.
good. What's been great is to be able to feed back into the team because
Yeah.
you're not like a humongous tech company and you can't speak to
No.
anyone. Like, you have to have
No.
conversations with you. actually it'd be really useful if you just did this for us, and then
And
that
it
can or can't get put into the roadmap as well.
exactly, like that's the thing as well, like I was telling one, is just keep listening to your customers. They're the ones that often kind of potentially as well as like spot problems before you do. So telling you what you need. And we love hearing back from customers. I think the only problem when it comes down to is being able to implement that feedback quick enough and soon enough. But luckily with the customer base we have, we're like, no, we are going to get to it. It's a matter of when, not if. So it's just making sure that we keep them up to date with, okay, well, that was a really great idea. This is how we're going to do it. So it's a time and resource is always the biggest issue, I would say.
But also being able to explain that back to the customer, being like,
Yeah.
idea, but it doesn't work here.
Well, this is it. We're a team of 16 at Bookwhen, and that is it. So I think when I first started, which was about 4 years ago, there was about 8 of us. So we've grown quite a bit. And most of our team members are in the dev side, and then on support. So it's a nice balance, but it is it's always time and capacity to get things in and built. But it's really exciting when it does happen, and I love seeing the change, and I love hearing the feedback when we've had that change. Like one of our most recent releases was to bring in like post-event emails so that you can kind of continue that journey with your customers after they've been to events. And we're getting already some great feedback, and we're like, okay, yeah, we know how we're going to iterate it next. So we've got it like in the pipeline, ready, sat there with the feedback, and like our UX researcher, Eloise, often meets with Karen, who's on our support team. They're so focused on customer feedback and making sure that we're bringing it back into the product team. And we're like, right, this bit's really great, but here's an even better if we can make it work this way, it's going to be like absolutely brilliant. So it's always lovely to hear that feedback come back.
Amazing.
Yeah.
4 years, Jen, what are like the biggest changes that you remember happening?
I would say the biggest change is more internal. So it's the way that we manage the product and the way that we sit down and develop. So this year's been quite a big change in kind of getting everybody into the swing of being comfortable in making mistakes, or that comfort of like fear of failure. So some of the processes that we've developed focus on that. So we're more, what am I trying to say? We do smaller iterative changes now rather than kind of really big, large ones, which has a lot of fear attached to it when you're launching something that's quite massive and a big change. And it's also quite difficult for our customers because then they have to adapt to something that might be completely different to how they were creating it before. So the small iterative changes is the biggest change we've had in how we develop. So there's things that happen that you might not notice straight away, and it's just intuitive. So that is the biggest change, I'd say, for Bookwen.
Love that, because
Yeah,
actually, if you can get your team on board in working in the way that works for them, that's how they are then comfortable to put those in it, like without kind of being like, I don't want to mess up and get fired. Like that.
exactly. So it's that safe space to innovate, to make mistakes, because mistakes are learnings, that in my eyes. And my favorite thing is when we've released something and when we get to share it back with the team and we're like, it's there, and then we can watch this, like the data coming in. We're like, oh, we can see people using it, it's amazing. And then if we don't hear back from them, we're like, great, it's working, brilliant. And then it's when you get the feedback, you're like, okay, maybe it's not working in the way we thought, but we can quickly change it because we work in smaller stages now. So it's lovely.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
It's breaking down. I love that you touched on this. Like, it's breaking down that fear, isn't it? Because actually, like one of the biggest reasons that we don't do things is because primarily we kind of think this tiger's going to jump out,
Yeah.
like poke our head out of the cave, but that doesn't happen anymore. And actually, in this age of tech, not that I'm in a tech industry, but like in this age of tech, I think there's a greater expectation for innovation.
Yes.
Meet that
Yeah.
really to make it happen, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you always get with customers using tech as well, you get people that love it exactly how it is, they don't want it changed, but then you've got people like on the other flip side who are like, oh, I need to see something new. Like, how are you? Like, how am I going to grow if I can't see you growing? So it's often like a balancing between making the right and smart changes over the things that are just going to disrupt in a negative way. But yeah, that fear of failure is definitely like somewhere I think people should be comfortable in, because that's where you innovate.
Exactly.
It's there. And you have to keep ahead. Like, that's the thing, like if you're not innovating, you fall behind in tech, and your product can get outdated very quickly, and then people will move on to the next thing. So while it's really nice to do like new customer acquisition, it's about retaining customers as well. So again, like innovating in a sustainable way that grows both your customers and your business.
Definitely. I think a lot of innovation as well actually stems from failure, because there has
100%.
a need to
Yeah.
like fix, change, pivot, like whatever that is. Like, and I think
Yeah.
I look back at my entire career, most of the times I've had to innovate because I've been in a tricky situation, and whether I've caused that or not is a different story. Sometimes I have, sometimes I haven't, but it is that like COVID being, you know, this example of like the world changed overnight. The innovation came from that. It's game changing for everybody, really. Although we
definitely
had it, actually it's left us with the world.
That's it with Bookwen. So I wasn't at Bookwen at the time, but the team worked very quickly to get Zoom integrated, because at the time I don't think we didn't have any like online video or like online meeting platform integrated, and they had to move so quick to get that in. And it meant that we were able to help businesses stay open, because they're able to switch to do like yoga online or like meditation online or mindfulness sessions. So that was a really like the pivot there was amazing, and it paid off. So everyone could continue using Bookwen.
It definitely, like I was with you guys as a customer at that time. It definitely made life easier to be able to then like put in a system that automatically set up the Zoom and it will just happen, rather than like, I've got to do this bit, just bring it all together, because we were worried enough about like paying the bill.
Well, that's it definitely. So you know, that's it's a great example of when pivoting and moving at speed it pays off. So yeah, like the most important thing for us is to allow our customers to be able to do what they love, and we want to do that in a way that they don't have to keep using like several different systems. Like, you don't have the time to be switching from tool to tool. You want it all in one place. So that's something that we're working toward a Bookwhen as well, is like, we call it making Bookwhen sticky, making it more sticky, so that you don't have to go into that payment gateway over there. You can just see everything within your Bookwen account, because you don't have time. It's also trying to remember logins as well. Like, it's a nightmare.
The bane of everyone's life. Oh, what's my login?
So what's my login? Oh, I've got to do the authenticator app again.
Such a headache, it really is. With just picturing like what my password state is. With the opportunity to get involved with disruptive franchisors and like when I came and like knocked on your door.
Yeah. I was like, hello.
It was a very instant reply. So what was it about the disruptive franchisors that made you kind of go, yeah?
It was definitely like seeing how they celebrate those within franchising. So like celebrating exactly what we value. So like the fresh thinking, bold ideas, and businesses that aren't afraid to challenge the status quo. So that's something we really respect at Bookwen. So it was such an easy decision to be like, yes, we would love to sponsor you. And that is another thing as well with like franchises, when they combine what they do really well with proven systems that work and innovative tools, it's brilliant. Like, that's where the magic happens. So being able to support the Disruptive Franchise Awards is a no-brainer. Like, and I'm so excited to see everybody on the night and hear all the talks. And it was really great as well. Some of the finalists this year are people that use Bookwen, so it was really great to see some of those up there, and some of the other great tools that help support franchises.
Yeah, no, it was when I had the opportunity to take over the reins, I couldn't, because exactly what you said, like it is that like free thinking, act disruption in a positive light, rather than not a messy place to disruption. Actually, that is where the innovation comes from, the recognizing that we need to move on and move with, not just move with the times, but jump ahead of the time.
Yeah, you've got to be ahead of the curve.
100%. I don't know if you know this actually, but I was 2 years ago at the first Disruptive Franchise Awards. I was the winner of Disruptive Franchisee of the Year. So it was the first Disruptive Franchisee of the Year. Very, very proud. But part of the reason that I won the award, part of my entry, was at the time we were doing a massive integration where we were bringing Bookwhen into
Yes,
franchising.
I remember.
I remember it was
I remember that.
summer integration, which was
That's a
brilliant from your
spreadsheet.
point of view, from a franchisee. And part of that was very much because there was no support manager award
No.
this year, but there was no like half measure
Mm.
go for it. So kind of getting the Daisy for Say franchisees to uptake Bookwhen. Some of them had already, but we made it
Yeah.
a booking system
Mhm.
because of all the things that we'd done together. We worked on like using the templates and setting
The
up
tags, yeah.
tags, all the tags. That's a whole nother episode.
The whole nother effort. Yeah, we've got.
The
How long have you got?
not lost, honestly. The documents still work though.
Perfect.
But part of that entry and kind of I'm sure was what kind of helped the judges to score me highly was like how we innovated and used and disrupted within our franchise in a very positive way of getting them to on board with Bookwen as booking system and integrate it into our website, because Daisy First Aid we've never taken the money directly as a head office to franchisees, and we wanted to make sure that the franchisees had the control. So that whole project that we did of integrating it across the franchise probably was for me winning the award. It's a nice full circle moment.
That's a lovely full circle. And that's the thing, it's always like change management when you are like disruption. Again, obviously I mentioned about that's where magic happens. It still is, but change management requires so much time and effort to put into that. And it's not just like introducing something new as well. It's then being consistent with that after it and having to re-engage it. So with us, it's like with our processes that we have internally now, it's making sure that we bring it back to that, and it's a reminder of like, okay, we know that bit doesn't work, so let's try this, let's innovate here. Or is like, okay, we know that's not working anymore, let's try something new. So consistency along with disruption can be quite time consuming, but it pays off in the end.
Always does. I think there's a notion that disruption is like this like scary big moment, but actually disruption can just be about a small change that
big wins.
Absolutely.
It's like a ripple effect almost as well. So, and again, thinking about the future, like if I make a small change here, it means it's going to have a larger impact at the end, and I'm not going to have to change it as much. So yeah, again, small iterative changes can lead to really big payoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking of kind of future ripples, tell me a little bit about everyone is talking about AI and how it's going to come. The rest of it. I'd like to know what's happening inside Bookwhen, a little bit about kind of how AI has already changed or not changed. And what that future impact is for you guys.
We'd love to use AI more, I would say that, but it's also just, so for Bookwen, we are quite environmental focused as well. That's kind of where some of our roots started, in making sure that we're making a positive impact. So when you're thinking about like water usage and things like that, that's still really important to us. And AI is obviously quite scary to some. There's a fear that it's taking people's jobs or that it's going to replace people. I don't agree with that. It's a tool to be used. So if you become an expert in AI, again, you're already ahead of the curve. So obviously those that are kind of in the younger demographic are using AI more, and it's really interesting. There was something I saw on LinkedIn with data that the minute the summer holiday started, the use of AI went massively down, because it is those younger people that are not afraid of disruption and they adapt. So for Bookwen, at the moment, we're using AI in our customer experience side of things, and that's to be able to help kind of answer those more basic questions that we get quite a lot. So it's just like, how do I reset my password, or how do I find my public booking page link? So we have a chatbot called Buddy, who we've worked very hard on. So Danny has poured like blood, sweat and tears into making sure that Buddy is in our tone of voice, that he's got all the resources that he needs, that he comes across in an empathetic nature. And we're checking those manually at the moment as well, just to make sure that the answers that it's giving are is the right one. And that's helping us in getting support to you quicker, because we appreciate that, you know, when you've hit an issue, you want help straight away, because it can be quite panic inducing if you're hit with like a message like, our support team will get in contact with you in like 1 to 2 hours. You're like, no, I need help now.
I'm doing it right now. I don't have
I
time.
need it right now. I need it right now. You need to stop everything and help me. So Buddy does that. So he'll help to answer questions, and we're seeing some really great results with that. In fact, it's the first time that we've ever entered any like customer experience award, and we are a finalist in the customer experience awards for the best use of AI. So hopefully the team will win. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. It's the first time we've ever entered any awards ourselves. But that is how we're using AI predominantly at the moment in Bookwhen. Would love to see it. Like, this is something me and Danny were just kind of like, what would we do if we could today? And it would be great to have AI built in, so you could say, I want to run an event on a Tuesday at 4 o'clock every week until the 25th of December. And then it just does it all for you. It fills in all the details. It adds an event image that you might like. It builds a booking form. Because that speed to get in your events, like, again, it's saving time. If we can use AI to save time, brilliant. But that's mainly like, that's our big sky thinking. If we could do anything, like, that would be brilliant. But we'll see how we use it more. I definitely use AI to help with data analysis sometimes, like when I've got a large set of data and I need very quickly, like, can you just group this into this is what I'm seeing, and it helps to do it very quickly. So I love that for me personally.
Really nice to let someone else deal with that, isn't it? Because that is so much time. I love your approach though, of like that big kind of blue sky thinking about we use AI to improve the saving of people's time, because that's where you bring customer support, right?
So on the support side, it means that, you know, with the team size that we have, we can keep it at that, and then we can allow our support team members to do like passion projects and things that are important to them that they want to grow in. So it's picking up the chats that are kind of like low impact, low value, that can be answered by a bot, and then they tackle the bigger questions. Like, someone wants to talk about, how can I improve my business, or how can I add a new revenue stream? And we're like, great, okay, let's have a look at your account, and then we can dive into that and be like, okay, these are these great areas that you could go to. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But if anyone that uses Bookwen, like, if you interact with us, the first person you'll probably see is Buddy.
You're right, then there is nothing scarier than like, I can't do this thing right now.
Well, that's it.
Time. Like,
Yeah, and from like a growth perspective, like, we're only based in the UK, like our entire team is UK based, but we have customers over in the US on like the West Coast, the East Coast. We've got some customers in the Philippines as well, like Australia, and we're just not here. Like, we want to support them, but we're not here. So Buddy is a great way with the AI to like answer those questions and at least give them a response. So like, we're like, yeah, we hear you. We're going to help as much as I can. And then like, if it is something that requires the human team to look at it, then it's already like the troubleshooting steps have already happened. So we're like, okay, I know exactly what this is. Give me 5 minutes and I'll help you figure it out.
Yeah, I love that, because again, like, saving your time to help more customers, right? Because otherwise you're in that chat like, have you turned it off? Have you turned it off? Plugged in? Like, are you in the right account? I've had that before. Are you logged into the right account?
Yeah, that's what we say, like, are you logged into your account? Okay.
Go to this page. What page? Like, yeah,
what page?
that just takes up the time that you could actually be helping somebody else really solve problems. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Like it. So Jem, if you could if I could wave a magic wand and get rid of any chance of failure, what would you go for? What would you
I think it would be the AI. Like, think from a like a Bookwhen point of view, it would definitely be being able to develop quickly without fear of failing and things going out, and if it does fail, it's fine, don't worry about it. But that AI tool would be great. That would be brilliant if we could. If that's something we could do tomorrow. Oh, I'd love it. But for like me personally, I would love to do like be a children's illustrator for like children's books. But I can't draw. So that's like,
AI.
but that's it, AI. But if I could do it with it, if I couldn't fail, then I could do it. But
Exactly.
then there's a quote by like Thomas Edison that I really like, and it's like, if I can remember off the top of my head, it's a bit like, I've not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that didn't work.
Yeah.
So that's how I try to approach things.
I
But
like
what
that.
about you? What would you do if you couldn't fail?
Such a big question.
Yeah.
It really is. I think I think right now at this point in time, if I couldn't fail, probably, and I'd probably need to trademark this after we get off the call, but
Yeah.
what I'd probably do is build, it would be tech-based, and I would probably
Yeah.
build a tool
Mm.
that helps franchisors with their recruitment, but in a
Oh,
authentic
yeah.
way that is able to go and analyze big data sets very
Yep.
quickly and help
Yep.
make the decisions, not just for the content, but also for their sales process. So
Mhm.
I don't even know where to start on something like that. I would
I
absolutely,
mean,
but that's what I would do.
that that would be brilliant as well, because it's like territories are so different one to the next. Like Brighton versus like Brace Emmons and Suffolk, completely different demographic.
yeah,
So what works down here wouldn't necessarily work up there. So if there was a bit like, oh, okay, let's take in your socioeconomic, like where are you? There used
should
to
that
be,
messaging be for that area versus
that's it. It used to be like, I've done a bit of everything in my life, in terms of career wise. And I used to really love this tool. It's like called Acorn Data, or it was like Acorn Marketing. And it used to be demographics. We used to do like mail drops and door drops. And that's where it would build you a picture, and you could share that then with like pharmacies so that they could create content and mail drops that were tied to that area, and so like to drive and generate business. So I love that idea, Stacey. That would be really amazing.
but I wouldn't have a clue where to start. But that's what if I could just like, yeah, the one is waved, I'm going to succeed regardless.
Yeah.
Would be to build a tool, because a tool I think is like personal knowledge is invaluable, and that's what I do. I help business
Yeah.
through franchises, but actually, like, there's a smarter way to do it, and I think that, like, I, I genuinely think we're coming to a bit of a curve where, there are so many courses, there are so many challenges online, there's so many masterminds,
Yeah.
so many things to join and do and be, whereas actually I think most of us are now at a point where we just want it done.
Yeah. We don't have time.
Time to go and learn. I just want
We
it
don't have
done.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, I would build something around that for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it ties into like innovation is really about us listening closely to customers and what they need and what's going to help them. So something like that would definitely do it. Like for us, if we could develop AI in a more intuitive way for Bookwen, that would be amazing. But we're getting there. We're building features that help customers. So it's just about listening, keep an eye to the ground, listening to customers like yourself, be like, okay, if we could change something today, what would it be? What's going to help you the most? So, and then we can figure out, backwards engineer it and be like, right, okay, we know the end result. Let's work our way back to get that.
Always starts with the user story, doesn't it? Everything in life.
Always starts. Yeah, that's definitely like a top tip I would have had for like staying ahead of the curve is solve real problems with empathy. So you need to understand human needs, and that's always the best guide. So, and that's how you won't get replaced by AI as well, because it's always going to come down to human needs. So have that in top of mind, experiment early as well. And I think another important thing is always just like investing in the team that you have. Like those people that are curious are your most future-proof asset. So without them, like, we bounce ideas off each other. So you really need that curiosity. It's one of our values, actually. I think I've touched upon Bookwen's values before, but we're called EPIC. So it's like be empathetic, be passionate, be inquisitive, and be clear. And that's what we try to live by at Bookwen.
Which is great, actually. It's a really good set of values,
Yeah.
because they are very clear. But
Well, that's it. Yeah, that's how we try to like embed that with the team. And like the book team that we have at Bookwen, most empathetic people I know, like they care so much about our customers and building something that works and delivers value. So I'm in awe of them. Like I can't wait to find some other awards to put our product team into, because the customer experience side, they're up for best use of AI and best customer experience team. But we need to find something for the product team now. So watch the space. Hopefully we'll find something.
absolutely. Well, next year's Disruptive Awards. I just
Yeah, I was gonna say.
of the year. I won't be judging it.
Watch this space.
Awesome. Jen, one question actually. So like you
Yeah.
said there, you'd be a children's illustrator. Why?
Yeah. Right. So I love reading. Like I grew up with parents who were very passionate about getting lost in a book. So I grew up around all these like fantasy books like Terry Pratchett, like David Gemmell, Game of Thrones even as well, like throwing that in there. So that kind of spurred me on, like when I went to uni, I did English literature. I've always been creative as well. Used to write short stories in school. I remember getting 10 house points for one story I wrote once. It was great. I was just like, this is amazing. And originally I thought that I would go in to be like a bookseller, and like I would work at a library and kind of focus my career on that side of things. And I ended up going to Waterstones, and I worked in the children's department there. And the books that they have, like just some of them are so good. Like it's artwork, it's gorgeous. And I was just like, yeah, if I could do anything, if I could draw, I would definitely be an illustrator. I still like, there's some of the print. I don't know if you've ever seen like I Want My Hat Back, or That's Not My Hat. Yeah, that is a beautifully illustrated book. I love it. So if I could do something like that, that's kind of, I would have loved it. But that's where that side of thing is. And you know, I might become a bookseller one day, like go back to Waterstones, who knows. Bookwhen is kind of like, that's got a book in the name.
But yeah, I see the connection there. Yeah.
But I should really, like, we've got customers who do like art workshops. I should take a look at them, really. Maybe sign up for one.
I think like you work in a company that is so the culture there about not failing or failing and doing it anyway, I think is such an important one. But yeah, it's pursuing the passion, isn't it? I think.
Well, that's it. And like we love to be able to have that space for passion. And like Bookwhen is like, we're very lucky that, well, I hope we all love what we do. That's why we're there. Like we're all sold into Joe and his mission and vision for Bookwen, and it's about helping people do what they love. So being able to have the time and like a really good work-life balance does mean that I've got scope to look at some of my more like passion projects on the side. Like I'd love to do, I love quilting, but I'd love to make that into like a paid like revenue stream one day for myself. Maybe learn a heritage craft. And Bookwen gives us space to do that. So, and we've got great, like I said just then, like we've got some great customers who do stuff like that. So it's really inspiring to see the type of activities that people are running, like making it into a business, franchising it. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. So this week, so you know, August is National Wellness Month in the UK. So this week we're focused at work, like we're doing weekly posts about it internally, tied into our values. And this week's all about passion. So it's about finding what lights you up, what sparks joy for you, whether that is in work or outside of work. And we've all been sharing like different things that we're doing. But things like this brings joy to me. Like I love being able to talk about people's problems and then be like, right, let's tackle how we're going to solve this. How can I help you?
We've had some great meetings. I like these.
Yeah, I love our meetings.
You're like, right, okay, let's get the
right. This is how we're going to make it. It's like it's taking that like like a moment to an aha. So I love that.
Yeah, absolutely love it. Jem, I've absolutely loved chatting with you. We could probably
Oh,
chat
likewise. We could, yeah, definitely.
that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. How can people
Thank
find
you.
you and Bookwen?
So to find me, if you go to www.bookwen.com, you can get in contact with us there. We also have a chat. So when you do log on to the Bookwen side of things, there's a little chat bubble in the corner. Just click on that and start a conversation. It'll come through to me or the team. That's the best way to get hold of us, or reach out to us on socials. So we're like at Bookwen on Instagram. You'll find us there. But yeah, we love having chats. So if you've got an idea or feedback, or you're like, oh, Bookwen would be great for this, or you just want to talk a bit about franchising, come on over.
Jem, thank you so much.
No,
We'll
thank
be
you.
back for another episode next week. This whole podcast series is sponsored by Bookwen, so thank you again for sponsoring
Our pleasure.
podcast as well. And thanks for making it all possible.
No, our pleasure.
Amazing. Right then, that's it for this week. We'll be back next week. If you've enjoyed this episode, please do make sure that you subscribe so that you get all the notifications about everything that's coming up. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye.